Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Market Wrap. So I am back in Philly. I never made it home last weekend as I was in Vegas watching my Giants season come to an early end. Now next weekend is going to be even more fun because we are heading to the Watch Time event in New York City. It's been a good year and a half, 2 years since I've been able to hang out in New York. Can't wait to meet all the clients. We're going to be set up there. Watchbox will be displaying product and it'll be a great time to meet our friends and always talk watches. So this week there were 3 watches that I absolutely love and a couple of great ones. And the first one we're going to start with is the Moser Streamliner, the Green Dragon. One of the coolest watches on the market today. It really set off the green craze in my opinion. And the expanded Streamliner collection has made more and more people looking at these pieces, and this watch has really become collectible over the last couple of months. Now the second piece we're going to talk about is a really rare watch. It's a Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Calendar. Now this is the 39mm, but with a meteorite dial. I love their triple calendars, but I am a sucker for meteorite. This one's amazing. It's got great detail, and there's fewer and fewer of these we're seeing over the last year or two. And the last piece is a classic. It's a Rolex Daytona, the 116-518. It's one of my favorite variants. It's the yellow gold, black dial, champagne zones. Now the strap Daytona market has shot up over the past 6 months. I think this is probably the best variation of all of them. Love to have it in the collection. So Patek released 3 new models last week, and I thought it would be a great time to review the introductions and to really reflect on Patek's position in the market. Now, first of all, everybody is talking about the 5905 1A. It's the most talked about piece of the 3. It's a beautiful complication. I always love the 5905. It's a great size. And now in steel on a bracelet, and of course with a green dial. It's exactly the product the market is clamoring for. Now the second piece is a 5930P, the world timer, chronograph, again with a green dial. And the last piece in the collection is actually my favorite, the 5204R split perpetual chrono with an amazing gray dial. Now, my first quick reaction was, did we really need more green dial watches? Yes, the market for green dial watches is strong, and I guess I'm getting a little tired of more of the same. Obviously, these will be super commercially successful, but I was hoping for something more creative than just a green dial. Now, the dial on the 5204R is really a spectacular gray. It's really the first time I remember Patek doing this particular color on a rose gold piece. It really works great. I love the fact that it's very different from everything else in the market, but obviously everybody is really just focused on those green dials. Now, I love the fact we're getting multiple launches throughout the year. I was actually more excited about the 6119 and the 5236P we saw earlier in the year. Amazing new movements, and it really showed the best of what Patek can do, but the internet wants green, so we got more green. So with the new Patek launch, it really got me thinking about the brand. Now, Patek is probably one of the most well-known brands in the watch world, maybe just next to Rolex, and was always considered to be not just part of the Holy Trinity, but really the best of the best. Now, I grew up with a watchmaker as a dad. I was always taught that Patek was the best. I can still remember the first important Patek I sold as a pre-owned watch when I was in my early 20s, Patek rose gold top hat. I sold to a Japanese dealer for $6,000. I thought it was all the money in the world. Probably was to me at that point. I remember selling my first 3919J, delivering 3970s, 5970s, and repeaters to some of the best collectors in the world. Now, over the past 5 or 10 years, I think Patek has lost a little of the attention of the market. FP Journe, Vintage Rolex, AP, RM have all gained in stature and pricing, and now we regularly see auction records set by brands other than Patek. Now, this was not always the way it was. I think sometimes we forget not only about the longevity of Patek, but the depth of the catalog. I would argue that while the world is talking about green Nautiluses and Aquanauts, many collectors have forgotten about what made the brand the best of the best. From a Patek 130 to a 570, 2526s, 3970, jump hours, repeaters, there is so much to admire, love, and collect that we sometimes forget how great the brand is. So I've been spending more time really diving into the classics and looking for great values. Yellow gold or rose gold 5070 is really the same price as it was 5 years ago. Many of the perpetuals, the 5320, the 5140, 5159, can be purchased for big discounts against retail, and for me, look like some of the best values in a frothy market. I think when this market corrects, and it will as it always does, Patek will hold more value than almost any other brand in the market. I think while the world is chasing RMs, Journes, APs at crazy numbers, this might be the perfect opportunity to look for important Pateks that might not be green or steel, but represent really the best of what made Patek Patek, and really are classics in the watch world, but maybe not Instagram exciting today. So that was this week's Market Wrap. Look forward to seeing you again next week.